Yo, Counter Attack Podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. Guys, you've been asking for a while, where are all the interviews? You used to get players on. Do the players not like you anymore? I mean, no one actually says that to me anymore. I mean, at all. But no, I've just been very, very busy, guys. And, you know, with all the other stuff that I've been doing with the Truce to Kong Foundation, the Premier League stuff, the TV stuff. But we're back. New season's about to start, and I thought, let me just bring it back now. So we're going to bring you more MLS stuff, more Premier League, Championship, League One, whichever level, man. So yeah, stay tuned. But we've got one for you today. This is a player that is playing in the MLS right now. He's had some time in the in England and went there, came back to England. Gone back over there, so we're gonna see what that's all about. You know, his foot is a bit hot; he can't stay in one place. But no, but we've got a goalkeeper, plays for Houston Dynamo. We've got Jonathan Bond. How you doing, man?
All good. Thanks for having me on.
No, all good, man. Thank you for coming on, man. But yeah, how are you? How's Houston? How's your season going for you personally? Yeah, talk to me. What's going on?
All good, to be honest, still positive. Yeah, obviously you mentioned I was here before. I was playing for LA Galaxy and then moved back to England. So I did a year back in England. But obviously in that time I met my wife in America and then pulled her to England with me. So I don't think she was the happiest with what she found, like moving from LA to England. So I think a family and a football decision together kind of made sense to come back to the States, and I'm really happy here in Houston now. So yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised.
Do you know what? This wasn't a question I was going to ask, but it's funny that you. It's funny to me that you brought up the whole meeting your wife in. You met her in LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as an English person, we know what English UK culture is about. But for her, had she been to UK before?
No, she'd never been. No. Well, she'd been in my off season, do you know what I mean, for like a week or whatever, just to meet my family and stuff like that. But she'd never spent like a long, like extended time in England.
Right.
So yeah, it was all a bit, to be fair, she's German. So like, there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, like, she already kind of adjusted going from Germany to America, living in LA for like 8-9 years, and then coming back to England. Yeah, it's obviously quite a lot. It's a big change.
Yeah. What were her like main thoughts or things that she maybe not struggled to adapt to, but things that did she like living in UK?
She liked some things, but I'd say on the whole, I think she definitely feels more settled in America. I think it helps that the two places she's lived in America, LA and obviously now Houston, have just been warm, like it was sunny basically every day. So that was a big deal. Obviously, going to England, basically it's cloudy, cold every day.
Yeah.
So that was a big adjustment, and just small things like you have to learn to drive on the other side of the road. The roads are like half the size. You know what I mean? You're kind of avoiding the other side of the road sometimes as you're driving and stuff like that. I think it just scared her a little bit. So. But I think by the time that we left, she was definitely more settled and was happier there. But still, the opportunity for her to come back to the States, I think she was happy that was okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're in Houston, living life, and what's one of the main things that you enjoy about Houston so far, in terms of living there and just starting a life there.
To be honest, we weren't sure what we were going to find. I've been here obviously to play against the Dynamo, but you know what it's like. You only stay like one night in a hotel before the game, and you don't really see too much. And I thought, for some reason, it was going to be like just a desert, like not too much going on, like maybe a few places to go out and eat, or I don't know, just kind of going to the same places. It's the fourth biggest city in the US.
Crazy.
First of all, which I didn't realise. So it's a massive city. And then the food, like there's so much, it's like a real mix of cultures here. Mm-hmm. So obviously you've got your kind of like classic Texas kind of group. and you've got like a Latino population and an African American population, and everyone's kind of in the same kind of area, and then the food you just get from those cultures mixing is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think I just love food in general anyway, but yeah, it's perfect. Obviously the weather's good. It's sunny pretty much every day. It's a little bit warm at times, maybe too warm, but yeah, it's you can live this kind of city life. There's some nice areas and stuff if you want to do that. Or obviously I've got a family now, so we came a little bit more out of the way. It's peaceful, quiet. It's very green, like because it's very humid here. So like it, there are some storms and stuff that come through, but yeah, it's just like green, just like it is in England. Like, well, it's not like brown, you know, like in LA, it's kind of deserty. And so it's nice. It's really nice. We've been really surprised when we moved here.
And in terms of your team, your current team, you were at. It's a weird one actually. Like, I'm going to go somewhere with this. When I think of MLS football, and I think of LA Galaxy, obviously because you were at LA Galaxy before, I think of one of the big staples of the MLS. I don't know how much of that has to do with David Beckham and Ibrahimovic and whatnot, but after playing for LA Galaxy and now playing for Houston, Dynamo, do you notice is there a massive difference that I would think there is, or when you're in the within the club, is it pretty much all the same kind of thing, or is it like a totally different culture of football?
Honestly, I think I've been surprised how similar it is. I think Galaxy, they're a big brand. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's kind of heard of LA Galaxy mainly through Beckham or Ibrahimovic or Chicharito, whoever. But once you get into the club and then you compare that with coming into the Dynamo, there's not that many differences, to be honest. It feels like a lot of the MLS clubs are kind of like that, where it's kind of, the colours of the kit and the jersey might change, but everyone's got the same kind of budget. Everyone's got the same salary cap. Everyone's competing for the same players and stuff. So there are a lot of similarities just in the way that things are done, things are run. In England, it's kind of like all the different clubs might do things just completely differently, just depending on who the owner is.
Right.
But in the US, it's kind of a bit more coordinated. Like all the owners are kind of in touch with each other, and it's kind of like a group. So if there are ever things change, a lot of the times you see those changes throughout all of the clubs. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like one owner decided to do something crazy and go a different way with one club. Yeah. It's not really like that.
Okay, so we go from that Houston. So what would you say some of the main differences are between playing in Houston and then playing in like England, for example? Like what's one of the main things that...
Oh, huge. There's huge differences. Huge differences. There's when I think of England, it's very intense, very physical. Like playing through the winter is a whole different thing than playing through the summer. It just changes the game a lot. Like in the intensity you can train at, the intensity you can play the games at. Obviously the pressure and the short term way people think about, like managers get sacked after kind of losing 3-4 games in a row.
What, in America?
Because everyone's so in England.
Oh, in England, yeah.
Like because people are scared of getting relegated or not making it to promotion or whatever, and players just getting chopped like left, right, and centre, just getting dropped and stuff to the bench, and it's just very chaotic. Whereas in America, you come here. When I'm talking about England, by the way, I'm talking mainly about the Championship.
Yeah.
That's where I've spent most of my career playing, obviously, in the Champ. So, but then when I think about the MLS, because you have that time and there's not that relegation there, it first of all gives managers more time to like create something. So it's a lot more tactical. The standard of like the skill level is probably higher.
Right.
But like it's kind of allowed by the fact that everyone's not under as much pressure. So like you get this weird kind of mix of ridiculously high skill
Right.
But then also you can get some like sloppiness because there's like some complacency can creep in, or you know what I mean, because of that, the lack of relegation and pressure like that. But then also another thing is you get players that are on 100 grand a week in the MLS, and you can get like 2-3 of them per team. You know what I mean? So you have this level that's very similar to the Championship in terms of difficulty, but then you throw in some like world class players on each team, and it's just something you just don't get in the Championship, really.
Yeah.
So that's before you can start talking about just the weather conditions, and it's just completely different. Like you just can't press like you would do in the Championship when you're playing in Houston every week. It's 35 degrees when you're playing.
Yeah, I find that. Wait. On that, actually, do you notice like when you watch teams play against you, especially teams that are not coming from, that are coming from places where it's not as hot? Do you notice that, let's say, second half, like their levels probably just drop because physically they're just not used to it?
Yeah, we know that the first, if we're level at half time, whether it's 0-0, 1-1, whatever, then we've got a real chance because we know that we're used to playing in this heat, whereas they're not. But it can sometimes. I wonder whether it can work the other way as well, because we've got to play in that heat every home game.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? They've just got to do it once, and then they can go back. So we are dealing with that kind of difficulty every game, every home game. But yeah, generally speaking, if you can keep the ball, keep possession, and make the other team run, then you've got a big chance.
But as a goalkeeper, not to like slight you, but as a goalkeeper, are you affected as much by weather conditions?
No, we're not. We're not really. I think the only thing that the heat does is just saps a little bit of sharpness, like because you just feel so like drained. Just in those like 2 or 3 moments a game, whatever, if you have to find like a level of sharpness to, make a very quick reaction save or whatever, it just makes it that little bit more difficult. I'd say that's the only difficulty. Otherwise, physically, it's the boys outfield running around. Obviously, that's where it really you see the difference.
Yeah. To bring it back to like your team and the season. So I watch MLS on the weekends, right? Stay up late. So Saturday nights are like my sport nights. Historically, I was, playing football. So I used to play football, used to be a pro. And then I dropped down to non-league. But then on a Saturday when I come home, it's like, okay, whatever game's on in the evening, I watch boxing, and then UFC at 1 a.m. and then whatever.
Yeah.
So now...
all nicer.
Yeah, literally, I'm going to bed at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So now, obviously, the games are on American time, so I'm up. But anyway, so I'm watching MLS games, and I think what I've come to see is that it's so unpredictable. Like even with the championship, you know what teams are going to be there or thereabouts. You might have outliers and whatnot, but no matter what, like so for example, Atlanta, is that your side? That's another thing, that the Western and Eastern.
No, Atlanta's east, so it's the other side.
So let me go and look at your thing very quickly.
So who do you want to know? Who's at the top? Who's in the mid?
No, I know Philadelphia or San Diego.
Philadelphia top of the whole thing, and they're on the east. But in terms of our conference, Vancouver and San Diego are the top 2.
Yeah,
in the west.
Dynamo. There you go. Okay, cool. So, yeah, Vancouver. So look, I'm looking at LAFC in 6th, LA Galaxy 15th. Like for me, if I'm looking at if I'm making predictions, I'm going to think, oh yeah, these lot are just going to be at the top or thereabouts. But I would never in a million years would have thought Vancouver would be up there. But then you as a player, and that's no disrespect to Vancouver, but you as a player, does it actually not that if it doesn't matter, but if you win the league, that doesn't actually mean anything in America, right?
Are you talking about because because of the cup competition after the playoffs.
Yeah.
People, it depends who you ask. Honestly, some people really do value they call it supporter shield. So if you win the whole thing, but that's both conferences together. There's like a full league that you can like track, and if you win that, you win the supporter shield. I think there's more people that care about the MLS Cup than the Supporter Shield. But if you're just talking about conferences, so the East and the West, if you finish top of your conference, you get an automatic like bye into the next round. So you don't have to play the first round, and you just play the next round, which is quite a big advantage, to be fair.
Right.
So most people remember who wins the MLS Cup, which is the end of the playoffs at the end of the season. So I do know what you mean. Like, yeah, you're winning the league because you want to give yourself the best chance of winning the MLS Cup after that.
That's basically crazy. Because like now you guys, it's not too late, obviously, for you guys to make the playoffs. But if you make the playoffs, let's say you finish 9th position, you could actually go on and win the MLS Cup.
Yeah, difficult because we've got to get through a lot of rounds. But yeah, technically we could sneak into 9th. It's a bit like the Championship, really. Some teams sneak into the sixth place, and then win the playoffs and they go up.
Yeah.
Into the Prem. So it's a little bit like that, but yeah, it is crazy. They kind of the good thing is there's a few playoff spots to play for, so everyone's kind of playing for stuff towards the end of the season. It's not like people are just cut adrift.
Right. What's the like vibe like in the team right now in terms of qualifying for playoffs? Like, are you guys really pushing for it, or nah? No. I would assume you're really pushing for it, right?
Yeah, we are. We're 3 points off, I think, with a game in hand. We probably need 5 or 6 wins out of the last 10 games, probably 5. So yeah, we know there's a lot to do there, but we've been a little bit unlucky with injuries, to be honest. I kind of came in late. I came in April, so I'd missed the first, because I was still at Watford basically during the last Championship season. And I think they just got off to a difficult start with a few injuries, a few bad results and stuff. But I think we've had a few signings come in. There's kind of like quite a few of us that are new to the team. So everyone's kind of settling in, bedding in. But we've got a really good team, honestly. We've got a good coaching staff that very organised. Like, we've got very clear game plans. So we should make it, but yes, obviously there's still a lot to do.
Yeah. What's for you in terms of the traveling around? What's that like for you? Obviously you've been in America for quite a bit now, when I include the LA Galaxy stuff. But are you used to it by now, or does that still take some getting used to?
Yeah, so before COVID, they didn't have private charter flights. The players would have just got. I wasn't here before COVID, so I'm just going off what I've got told. But they were just getting on normal flights. So quite literally, just checking in, sitting in the terminal, waiting for the plane. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's a delay, half an hour, and then you're just getting on with everyone else. And then you're doing the same on the way back. So like, traveling was a serious like disadvantage, basically. Now, I actually think the travelling is easier than the travelling in England. Because in England, you're on a bus for like 3, 4, 5 hours. Like from Watford to Middlesbrough, Watford to Preston, Watford to Hull. It's 4 or 5 hours on the bus. In America, we're on a big plane, basically. So you literally board the plane like in your own time. You get a row to yourself, so you can lie down and you can sleep and nap. And then the flights are maximum 4 or 5 hours. So some are 2.5, some are 3. So I don't think the travelling is what it was like before. And obviously everyone heard about the travelling in MLS and stuff. Like, it's so difficult. And obviously with the time zones, it can be a bit difficult. Especially when you come back and then it's like 4 a.m, whatever. Then if you have another game 2-3 days later, then yeah, it does play a part. But I don't think it's as bad as what it was. I think it's pretty good now.
Even with the time difference, you don't really get like a jet lag though, do you? Like,
no, I don't think so.
the only thing is, if like an East Coast team is playing a West Coast team, how does that work? So if an East Coast team is used to playing at 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., and they're playing a West Coast team, then they technically they'll be playing. Their body thinks they'll be playing at like close to 10, 11 p.m.,
right?
Maybe midnight, something like that. So maybe in terms of that, it can, but that only happens a few times a season.
And the away support, when it comes to away games, is that still like a non-existent thing, pretty much?
Yeah, it basically is. Obviously, when I was at Galaxy, we had the LAFC derbies, and there'd be like a healthy away section, and then you get teams like maybe Portland, Seattle. That's where, obviously, at Galaxy we had Chicharito as the striker.
Yeah.
So being like basically a hero in Mexico, wherever we went, there was a healthy amount of like LA Galaxy Chicharito shirts, and just fans that were coming to town, whether it was like Salt Lake away or away in Vancouver or whatever. People would just be like, we don't really usually go and watch Salt Lake, but we'll go have a look because Chicharito's coming to town. Do you know what I mean? So, but otherwise, it's not. The league could do with that, to be fair. Some more travelling fans, because it helps to match their atmosphere, doesn't it? In England, it's one of the best things ever. Like when the away team scores, it creates a good atmosphere.
And I think one thing I've noticed as well when it comes to like fans is, so whenever I go out there and I watch games, the MLS has a real entertainment value to it, as opposed to, it's like in England or Europe, whatever. It's just like, no, we're here for like win. Like the fans are there to be entertained, and sometimes I feel like they go home, if win, lose or draw, it's like, oh, I enjoyed myself. Whereas the fans over here, it will ruin their day if they lose. And does that do anything in terms of motivation, and that, along with the fact that there's no relegation, like, is it hard at times to actually get motivated to do what you need to do?
Well, I think first thing to say is there are like ultra sections in these teams. So, like, for example, Dynamo have like, there's a big section behind the goal where they come week in, week out, and it definitely, like, for example, if you ask any of them, it would definitely ruin their day. If we don't win. But there's, like you mentioned, there is obviously a healthy amount of families that come to the games and stuff, and that's one of the positive things. Whether you see it as a positive or a negative, I don't know, but I think it's a positive that families can come and just enjoy themselves. Like when I was a kid, and my parents used to take me and maybe my sister to like a Chelsea Spurs game, for example. Like, it's not the safest thing in the world. Do you know what I mean? It's not the most enjoyable experience for a kid. It can be a little bit scary. So the fact that families can come and watch these games, there's also a lot more, I'd say a lot more females come and watch the game. So it's a lot more of a welcoming environment, which I think obviously is a real positive. But if you want to compare that to England, that kind of tribal atmosphere that gets created, then it just has its ups and it has its pros and cons, basically. Right. It is, at the end of the day, it is, I think all sports here are kind of seen as entertainment. And people want to have a good day out,
Right.
It does feel like that.
I think, though, it does help, though, to forge a better connection between fans and players, though, at times, because there's a more relaxed approach to meeting like a player, or being able to have access to the players. And like, do you find that you're closer to some of the fans in terms of your day to day? Like when you're at Watford, there's an element of protection that comes with you guys, but do you find it's a bit more relaxed in America, or am I just getting that wrong?
I'd say so. No, I think you're right. It's just at Watford, the fans are supporting the club, and it doesn't really matter who's playing there. And it's the same in MLS, but at the same time, I feel like they have a little bit more connection to specific players.
Right.
So you do feel that connection between yourself and the fans a little bit more. At England, that can happen as well, but you just have to probably stay that a little bit longer at a club for the fans to start, really connecting with you and everything like that. So I think, I think you're kind of right.
Yeah. Okay. So to bring it to you being a goalkeeper, I always wondered when it comes to goalkeepers, if I'm a defender and I'm playing in a team, there's 4 of me. So I know I'm going to play at some point. With goalkeepers, typically is one goalkeeper, unless they rotate during cup games or whatever, it can be very demoralizing. How do you stay focused, motivated, and not get demoralized if you're not playing or you're not the number one keeper?
Yeah, obviously I had that at West Brom. And I had it when I was really young at Watford the first time round. So I was at Watford before. Then I ended up at West Brom. But for example, at West Brom, I felt like I was ready. I was ready to play. I felt like I could have played for the first team in the Championship and done well there. But I had Sam Johnson ahead of me, who obviously England international and played for several big clubs. So it's just frustrating. He didn't miss a game when I was there. Never had an injury or a suspension or anything. So I just had to wait for the cup games, basically. And really, in those scenarios, like training becomes your outlet. Like training becomes your game. So you just have to like prepare and perform. Like training is everything. And then if something does happen, you'll just naturally be ready.
Right.
Otherwise, you go crazy. Just kind of waiting for an opportunity. If you're not focusing on training, then when the opportunity comes around, then you might not take it. But you kind of know. Just it's difficult. Like in most scenarios, there's some obviously they're different, but in most goalkeeping departments, kind of when people are being recruited, they kind of know kind of what they're being recruited as. If that makes sense. And obviously, once you're in at a club and there's a goalkeeping group, then honestly anything can happen. But at least kind of, okay, if something does change, then at the end of the season, then there'll probably be a change, and someone will move or whatever. So, it's difficult. Like even when I was number 2 at West Brom, at the end of the day, you want the team to keep winning. You want to get promoted. We got promoted to the Premier League, for example. So the last thing you need is like a goalkeeping department that's all over the place, and the one goalkeeper's in, and the next one's in, and the one's out, and those things never work. It just doesn't work. You definitely need that stability, I think, in the goalkeeping department.
And I would also like to ask you about like mistakes when it comes to goalkeepers. With players, you make a mistake, it doesn't necessarily lead to a goal. But with goalkeepers, your mistakes can be, costly, and you're always going to make them. Obviously, at the highest level, keepers are probably making less mistakes. Obviously, how do you deal with their mistakes? Because I'm not going to lie, I don't think I've got the mental capacity to not get in my head and start thinking, I'm definitely getting dropped. I'm definitely getting dropped next game. Like, how do you
get dropped? Because one mistake.
No, not one mistake, but like, especially if it leads to like a goal. Do you get what I'm saying? And in game time as a player, you can quickly like rectify your mistakes. Do you get what I'm saying? But for goalkeepers, what's it like when you make a mistake? Is it quite easy for you to just, what, it happens and we just go? Does it ever stay in your head, really?
I think honestly, the more games you play, then the less these things kind of take an effect. It also, like, a lot of it's situational. Like you just mentioned, like, I'm going to be dropped the next game. That infers that there's someone, you're competing with someone for your spot. Like someone else you've been in and out. Do you know what I mean? So like, also, how experienced are you? Like how many games have you played? Does the manager trust you? There's so much to it.
Right.
That, like, for example, if Emi Martinez made a terrible mistake, like first game of next season, he's not going to get dropped the next game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's won the World Cup and he's like been one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So, as a young goalkeeper, so when I was younger and I played and I made a mistake, it was a big deal. Like, I'm still trying to gain the trust of the coaches. You know, I'm still trying to establish myself in the game, as in literally in the sport. I'm trying to make a career for myself. You know, it depends what the mistake is. Like, there's so much to it, but at the end of the day, I think it comes down to training. Like, the more you train, the more you can kind of play on autopilot and not really be thinking about those things in a game. Like, if you're just staying present, you're not even really thinking about what's going on. You're just doing, and that's the position you want to be in.
Yeah.
You can maybe think about mistakes straight away after the game, think about it for a night or two or whatever, and then you just carry on, just keep training, play the next game.
It's funny because when I think of keepers as well, like, so I've got this thing where I think most keepers are competent keepers. I actually genuinely believe, like, if you were to go and play for Arsenal, let's say, I feel like you do all right. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the basics of goalkeeping, as long as you got those, I feel like you can get by in a lot of games. But then you as a goalkeeper, what would you say separates the real top keepers to just maybe like an average keeper? Like, who would you look at and think that's a top goalkeeper and why?
I think Alisson.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Alisson's right at the top, and has been for a while. Courtois. So I think it's between those two. Like, Donnarumma's been really, really good this last year. But I think just over the last kind of 5 years, Alisson and Courtois have been the best two. It's funny, like, I think if you get the opportunity to play in the Premier League or for like a big club or whatever, I think it's that initial period. Like, obviously, I've not been number one at Arsenal, so I'm just from the outside looking in. But I feel like if you can get off to a strong start in the first 3-4 months, because like you say, most goalkeepers, Arsenal are not signing terrible goalkeepers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Their recruitment is obviously bang on, top Premier League club. So whoever comes in, let's like a hypothetical goalie comes in to start this season, how's he going to do? You know? So it's just that, like, I think establishing yourself and having a good start and gaining the trust of like the club, the fans, the coaching staff, and then you can kind of relax into just playing your game.
Right.
I think a lot of it at that level is just dealing with like the pressure of playing for like a big club and in big competitions, like high profile games. And that's when I look at Alisson, like, he doesn't do anything that like most goalkeepers are not capable of doing, if that makes sense. It's just like his composure in the moments on a consistent basis where he's kind of relaxed to a point that allows him to like just make the right save at the right time and be in the right spot. He just doesn't ever seem to get caught up in any kind of moment. It's pretty impressive.
And I feel like he's done so well in terms of Alisson. I feel like he's done so well at doing what he does that I've seen players who, when they're through on goal, you would normally back them. But I can't remember the last time I backed the keeper more than I backed the player in those in those situations. So he's done, really, really, really well. So, all right. So you mentioned Alisson, you mentioned Courtois, and he gave a shout out to Donnarumma. Growing up, did you always want to be a goalkeeper, or were you one of them ones that, oh no, I played striker first, and then
yeah. I was definitely. I was midfield. I loved playing outfield. Like, even when I got scouted for Watford at 10, 11, I still wanted to play outfield. Like, even when I was at school, they were like, oh, we've got a Watford goalie, like, we're going to do this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, I don't want to play in goal, like, at school. I just want to play outfield and run around and score goals. Do you know what I mean? So I think from 7 till 10, I was playing outfield, obsessed. But the goalkeeper for my Sunday league team got injured. I think my dad saw like my physique kind of thing. It was like tall, long, like reasonably moved well, like agile and stuff. I think he saw that I'd probably be a good goalkeeper.
Right.
So from that point on, started playing for them, and then got scouted by Watford. And yeah, I think once you hit like the academy days where you're trying to get contract after contract, then you start worrying less about being good outfield and just start worrying about being a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think that a lot of goalkeepers have, like, their tech is just out of this world. Like, and I've seen how over the years goalkeepers' technique has got better and better and better. Looking at how when you first came through and now, how has like the goalkeeper changed? Obviously, we know, you know, more emphasis is on like kicking, let's say, like their distribution.
Yeah.
But like, if you wanted to go deeper, what have you noticed, or has there not really been any like more changes?
Yeah, there's been a lot. Distribution? Like so I'm 32 now. So when I came through at Watford, it was like first started training in first team at like 2010, 2011 kind of thing. Just a completely different game. Yeah. Like it's changed so much, especially for a goalkeeper. But like you said, the level of expectation on goalkeepers to be flawless, like with your feet in distribution and understand the game and how you're playing out and stuff like that. Then it's moved on to kind of like cutting out crosses and being proactive and like cutting out cutbacks and like defending like sorry, hold on, my dog's going to stop barking. So yeah, just the level of expectation on like even sweeping as well, like playing a high line. I feel like if you're lacking in any area now as a goalkeeper, then there's kind of a problem. Right. Like I don't think there are many like coaches that being like, it's okay, you know, he's not good at that, but you know, he's good at taking crosses, so you know he's fine. There's just an expectation, an all-round expectation that you can do everything now, and it's kind of good. Like the standards obviously just getting higher. So, but yeah, you look at the modern keepers now; they can all play with their feet. They can all come for crosses. They all can play a high line. They're quick off their line. They're good in one-on-one situations, and obviously all goalkeepers kind of make saves as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned, you know, the expectations you had of when like people, like goalkeepers move to different clubs and everything. What was the conversation like with you, like in terms of what would be expected of you, your role within the club, and how did the move even come about in the first place to Houston?
Oh, to Houston or each time I moved clubs?
No, Houston.
Yeah. Honestly, I was playing at Watford, and I think we'd had some communication with Houston before, like in the off season, but it wasn't really like strong or going anywhere. I think they kind of had a full kind of goalkeeping department. But what happened was that unfortunately the goalkeeper who was playing got a serious injury, right. And that's when suddenly they obviously they had to get in contact and say, you know, this is still possible. Like, can he leave Watford? And yeah, that wasn't an easy process, to be honest, leaving Watford. But yeah, I managed to kind of get it done, and we were really keen because I spoke to the manager and I was supposed to supporting the GM, the sporting director, kind of Pat, and just had a good feeling, to be honest. Like Pat, the GM was a professional goalkeeper himself. So just immediately there's just a level of understanding there and on the role, and yeah, it felt right. So I was very keen. Obviously my wife was very keen. So yeah, and to be honest, that season at Watford, I'd done really well. So like I started as number 2, and the number 1 got injured, and I think every time I played, I felt like I was decent, like I played well. Obviously, not every game. There's some games we lost or whatever, but I think on the whole, I did well. Right. And I deserved to kind of stay in the team. But basically, I was the only senior goalkeeper at the time who was fit because the other keeper got injured. So they brought someone else in, and they pulled me out after a game where I had played really well. So I think it was kind of like a signal. It was like, right, this guy coming in, they see him as being the number 1 kind of thing. So that also obviously played into the decision of like, you know, do I want to sit here and kind of compete with this guy and try and win my spot back and everything like that? When I felt like I'd done more than enough to be in the team.
Yeah.
So I think that played a part as well.
Yeah. So, and you know, you moved, you know, you got the family, wife, everything. You're 32 now, and I know people like to act like 32 like these days as an old player, which is crazy. But you know, you're in like your prime now. I like to think. And how has football, in terms of how you look at it, changed? Is it still something you enjoy, or how can I put this? Is it more of, I need to support my family, feed my family? I'm doing this for family, or do you still actually enjoy it and still get that buzz from it, or is it a job now? If you know what I mean.
It's both, honestly. I mean, I honestly think it depends on when you ask me. If things are going really badly and you're not enjoying it, and it feels like a job, and it's just like, oh, I've just got to keep grinding through this. But when you're in a good place, which I do feel like I am right now, I'm enjoying every training session. I'm enjoying every game. It just happened. Like, obviously, when you're playing well, you just feel better, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, right now, really enjoying it. It doesn't feel like a job as such. But at the same time, I don't think I'll ever lose the awareness of like how important every game and every training session is, because you're kind of, every day is like a trial. Right. You know, you're rejudged every day, and you know, you're always playing for the next contract. Basically, you sign one, that's just the beginning of a new trial to get the next one, essentially. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of both, I would say.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. I miss it so much, like playing football. So much so that I'm now going to try and go back and play non-league this year. So,
nice.
Yeah, if I can lose a bit of this timber. I'm doing well so far, but, you know, once you stop playing football every day, the pounds just.
But when does the season start? It starts soon, no? No,
it starts soon, but with non-league, you can just. I'm aiming for like September start. So
okay, fine. So you can start your own pre-season.
Yeah. So I'm training now. I'm losing the weight. I'm getting fit and getting sharp. And I know there's a team in non-league I can go to where I can miss training sometimes and have a jolly up. And but do you know what I miss the most? It's the banter. I miss playing, obviously, but the banter and the camaraderie you get within like a changing room is just second to none. And for you, what would you say makes a good culture at a club, a good set of, you know, players, and what makes you really enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, you want to have that, like you say, the banter in the changing room, but at the same time, like knowing that you'll support each other, and there's not too much like, there's not too many like toxic cliques or winning. Obviously, always helps. As soon as the team start losing games, then it can get a little bit ugly. But it's so different as well. The changing rooms in England and in America, like this, is completely different cultures. So I always find it interesting when more English boys come over from England and come to the MLS. Like I had a couple friends that are moving over this window, I think. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they find it and how they settle in and stuff like that. So my mum's American, so I kind of it wasn't like completely. Yeah, she's her dad. Sorry, no, her dad was from Spain. Her mum is from Seattle. Still lives there now. So it was like we used to come to America and visit family regularly as kids. So it wasn't like this crazy culture shock, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm always interested to hear kind of how people find it when they move over.
Do you ever?
It's different.
Are you ever in game and you know you're watching stuff that happen in game in like the MLS, and you're just thinking, what the heck is going on here? Because
in terms of what,
like just things that you might see on the pitch, whether that be like certain plays, certain calls. Like I find the commentary really fascinating over there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the
yeah.
It gets my nerves a bit
The
sometimes.
commentary, the commentary definitely is like it's. This is the thing: is that we think we as an English people, like everything we do is right.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the way it should be. Whereas when you come to America, they don't think that way. They just think, oh, that's just how we do it over here and over there. You guys, that's really cool, and they embrace it. Do you know what I mean? But I was the same as you. It's just like can't get my head around like the commentary and all that, the terminology and stuff. But I have learned, and I've got to say it, like since coming here, it's just different words. It's just different words for the same thing, and different accents, obviously. But when I spent 3.5 years here with Galaxy, and I went back to Watford, I'm so happy I got to do that because it sounds just as cringe. When you come from America and you go to England and you hear some of the terminology and stuff people say, you just think, what is he talking about? Like suddenly the American stuff sounds normal. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
and the English stuff sounds like what is he saying? But then obviously, then you spend a year in England and you hear and it's back and forth. So I know exactly what you mean, and it does take a while to get used to. But first of all, the commentary, they bring in terminology from the other sports, the other American sports, into football, soccer. So like that can take some getting used to, because I do feel like there's certain terminology that is definitely relevant, specific to football, that you shouldn't be using stuff that's come from from American football.
I had another thing is, and obviously it's just different, but the national anthem stuff, and so I've been to a couple games, so where they do the national anthem, you go there, and I'm like, oh, this is different. Like they don't do it. And then I was at a Charlotte game, and they had the thingies flying over.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wait, what's going on? What's going on here? Like, so things like that. Yeah. I'm like, this is just it's crazy, but
it's like an event, isn't it? Every game.
It's a proper event.
It's like a big event. Yeah. I mean, I have spoken about this, like the national anthems, because obviously just being here, like there's a national anthem before a game. You're not really thinking about it, you're just thinking about the game. But we only do national anthem in England like before a final.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Or before an England game. But they're just very proud and patriotic here. Like, we do the national anthem before the game. Like the rockets get fired off, the planes are flying over. It's pretty cool, to be honest. It does make it feel like there's something going on, like it's a big event. But I don't know. Do they do the national anthem before American football games, the basketball games, or no?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know about basketball. You're the half American.
I'm trying to think. Maybe it's just an American sport thing. Like they just do it before all the games. I'm not sure.
I don't know. But also, as much as I'm saying all these things, there's a part of me that drops the seriousness of it, and it's just like, oh, it's actually all right. Like it's actually it's actually cool. Like you enjoy the event, whereas especially if you've played football as well. When I'm watching games, like if I go to watch Arsenal, I support Arsenal. So if I go to watch Arsenal, I'm not there to be entertained. Like you go there, you sit down. There's very little conversation happening. There's very little whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go to a game in America, there's a lot of conversation. People are getting involved. Stuff comes up on the board. You got flipping, kiss cam, you got whatever you've got. And it does like, you do actually leave thinking, okay, that was actually...
Yeah, no, it's just different. It is just different. Like, there is magic in England in what you're saying, where it's not about the entertainment. It's about that one thing that everyone comes. It's like church. It's literally like church.
Literally.
Isn't it? Like everyone comes and like, that's it. We all concentrate on the one thing. Like, is that our team wins, and that's it. And there's magic in that. 100% is. That's what's made probably the Premier League and England like the most successful league in the world, the most watched league in the world. It's special. But there are some downsides to it as well, like I mentioned about families just not being as welcome or as enjoying it as much. Do you know what I mean? So, but I tell you what, if you guys say any kind of, like, we played Tigres last night, We're a Mexican team in a cup competition.
I was about to say,
and wow,
how come you were playing them? Oh, it was a cup game. And
cup competition. There's a new competition, Leagues Cup, where basically the American teams play the Mexican teams.
Yeah, I was wondering why
and you think we have good atmospheres in England, like it's nothing compared to some of the, even in Brazil or Argentina, like some of these atmospheres are crazy. So yeah, there's a strong passion. If that's what you're looking for, then yeah, you can still find that over in this continent, this side of the world.
Yeah, the Mexicans, yeah, they're on the football, but I feel like that's mostly to do with the fact that it's actually their like main sport, whereas football over there is, it's more. I've noticed it's more of a family thing. So when I've had a couple shows in America, like podcast shows, and I'm always surprised when I do the shows here, you get the diehard football fans and whatever. But when I do shows in America, it's like they bring their families, they proper support, and yeah, I don't know. Their approach to sport is more entertainment, I think. But
I agree. Yeah.
Cool. So I've got some lighter questions now.
Okay.
What's something totally random that you're into off the pitch that people probably wouldn't expect in your day to day?
Chess.
You play chess?
Yeah, play chess. I'm not very good, but I play chess. That is random. But what else? Do you know what? I love football. Like whenever there's a game on, I'm watching it. I don't know what to do right now. It's pre-season, so like that takes up a lot of my football, food. Like there's not too much. I don't play golf.
You're not a golfer.
I'm not playing. No, I'm not a golfer. So yeah, I used to be a gamer, but I just don't have time for it now. With a little one, so that's difficult. But if it has to be random, I'd have to say chess. Yeah.
First of all, chess. Have you seen the Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
Oh, that was how
Very
good is
good.
that? How good is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Second thing, you see the food in America, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you. Yeah, I can't cook. I could be so good with my diet and everything. The moment I go over there, Chick-fil-A, straight first day Chick-fil-A, and just I don't know how you manage to keep that.
Honestly, the amount of options here as well, like like Uber Eats.
Yeah.
It's endless. Like obviously, I'm sure it's the same in England, but you sit down with your missus or whatever, like what should we order? And you can be sat there for like half an hour before you even order anything because there's just so many places. You're just trying to look at all the pictures, all the food. There's so many options here. It's crazy, and it's all good as well.
What's been something that you've stumbled across in Houston that, in terms of food, where you're like, yeah, this is it. This is
just. I never used to be big on like Mexican food. Okay. So 3 years in LA, everyone was like, "Oh, Mexican food, like best food in the world." Blah blah blah. I was just like, nah, I wasn't really having it. But then moving here, we found this Mexican restaurant. It's so good. Like we've been so many times. It's not cheap though. That's the only thing. So we have to like kind of tone it down. But it's really good. Yeah.
No, but you're one of those. You're one of those $100,000 a week players, though, no?
No, not yet. So my last contract, 38 till 40, $100,000 a week out of nowhere.
You're not a designated player, though, are you?
No. That would be one of those. To be fair, $100,000 a week, like that's a lot. Like
I know
players are on that.
No, I know what you meant though. But like designated players, why are you not one of them?
There's only 3, and they spend them on attacking players most of the time.
Oh yeah.
95% of the time, it's the striker, it's number 10, winger. But it's weird. It's like there's different categories. There's like DP, then there's like TAM, and then GAM, and it's like all set up into different brackets and stuff, depending on how much you're earning.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's one question. And you played in some big stadiums, hostile, fans or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you ever played in a stadium and just thought, number one, I've really made it, or number two, my gosh, the fans are like hostile?
Yeah, I think the one where I was like really made it. I've been really lucky to be fair. So like, even though most of my career have been playing for Watford or West Brom, and I think the cup games that I've played, I've always been against like big teams away. So I managed to play against Chelsea away, City away, Villa away, Spurs away, like all these teams. And I think I was a Chelsea fan growing up, so still am, to be fair. But you know, I was fanatical when I was growing up. We used to have season tickets, and I'd just go with my parents every week. And we got to play. I played Chelsea away and played against Drogba and Petr Cech, who I grew up watching. John Terry, like these Willian, these players. And I just remember thinking, wow, like just listening to like the pre-match song, The Liquidator, was like, this is proper. And my parents are still in the same seats. Do you know what I mean? Still up there. So that was like a special moment. But in terms of the atmosphere, I think Ellen Road, they're so good. Their fans there, it's crazy. It's just loud. Like we had a game. I hope I'm remembering this right, but I'm pretty sure we were 2-0 up at half time, and Zola was the manager, our manager.
Yeah.
And I think he just said to us at half time, like, basically, look, we're miles better than them. Not like that. Obviously, Zola wouldn't say that, but, you know, we're in control of the game. And just don't concede in the first, like, 5-10 minutes of the second half, whatever. And, like, within a minute, it was 2-1. And this place was rocking. Do you know what I mean? It was like 2 minutes later, 2-2. And it's just like no one could get a hold of the game or the ball. It was just like they were sucking the ball in the goal. That's what it felt like.
Right.
And I would say Ellen Road. I mean, we've had some good ones. LAFC away is good in terms of MLS. And Charlotte, the team you just mentioned.
Charlotte have a good crowd.
So they have a good crowd. Their opening game, their first ever home game, was against Galaxy. It was like the first game of the season. And they had like 85,000 people there, something like that, 80,000. And it was loud. It was rocking.
And they've got
it was really good.
Behind the goal, they've got their ultras, isn't it? So literally, and
it was genuinely really good. It was really good atmosphere. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's like 80,000, like not far off Wembley, is it? Really? And they were loud as well.
It's a good stadium.
So they were bang up for it.
It's actually
it is a good stadium.
Do you feel like your story in terms of you as a player is as far from finished, and what does success look like to you now, compared to maybe when you 5 years younger?
First of all, I'm glad that I got out of England and experienced something different. Okay. I was really keen to do that, and I just wasn't sure how that was going to happen. I didn't even know where it was going to be, like whether it was going to be in America or Europe somewhere.
Right.
I would still love to experience playing in a different place as well, like in Europe or wherever. But in terms of, I don't know, I don't really look that far ahead, to be honest. Like, it's difficult because you just don't know where the game's going to take you. Like, obviously, I had no idea. Playing against Dynamo, I had no idea I was going to be playing here one day. I had no idea I was going to go back to Watford. You know, I did a podcast like this when I was at Galaxy. It's like, can you imagine yourself coming back to play Watford? In the back of my mind, thinking, no, like, definitely not. Like, I'm moving on to different things. And then, I went back to Watford, and suddenly I was playing in the first team there again. It was like, this is crazy, because this is a place, I'm back at, like, between these walls that I literally spent from the age of 10 to 22.
Right.
Like, it was just a memory then. Like, I didn't think I was actually going to be back in the same canteen, the same kind of people and stuff. But sorry to answer your question. Like, it would be like competing and trying to win something over here in America, and just kind of say that I've come over here and won something. I've been part of 2 promotions from the Championship to the Premier League with Watford and West Brom, so that was good in England. But to win something here in America would be good. And if I can, then maybe experience something in a different place again as well.
Okay, cool. When I went out to the MLS All-Star in DC, it was great, loved it. The following year, Messi had just joined the league, And I know he joined, like, confirmed a couple like weeks or like a month before, something like that. And I noticed the Messi effect straight away in terms of like the buzz. Have you, obviously you're on a different, like, you don't get to play against them in regular season, but within the league, is it possible, even if you're on the, different side, like, is it
Dynamo
possible
played against Miami this season.
Okay, so did you notice like, or do you notice like the effect basically within the league in terms of, how many people are tuning in, how many people are, like taking more of an interest because of, like, let's say like a Messi and Inter Miami as a whole?
I think so. I think it's just brought more attention over here. I think people watch the games more. I think we get more viewers. He's playing every week and he's playing against MLS teams and stuff, and like the highlights that he's creating and it's going viral around the world and watching, like, it's against whoever, Cincinnati, it's against, these Philadelphia, whoever it is. It just brings like a validity to the league. Obviously when he first joined, it was like, mania. Like everyone was like, no way, couldn't believe it, blah, blah, blah. But he's been there for a little while now. So it's just that sort of week in, week out. Now players are just playing against Messi kind of week in, week out. And it is interesting to watch. But I think it definitely has translated in terms of, like, even players that I was at Watford with, for example, one looks like he might be coming over to MLS. 2 or 3 of them have asked me, like, oh, like, what's it like out there, blah, blah, blah. You start to get more and more of these questions from people. Like, people are looking over here more and more now.
Right.
So it's definitely got that attention and that draw, which I think, is obviously going to make the league stronger.
Okay, and what's the last one I'll ask you? Okay, cool. So, in terms of players this season, when you look at standout players, pick a goalkeeper. Just when I say standout, ones that have like caught your attention, that you think, oh, no, that's a really good player. Goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, attacker. If you had to,
the season just gone.
No, like currently in the MLS.
Oh, in the MLS?
Yeah, currently in the MLS. That people that you've looked at and you thought, oh, he's a good player. It doesn't have to be anyone that is obvious or whatever. Just people that have caught your eye. Like, so as a goalkeeper, which goalkeeper have you seen so far and you thought, oh, he's all right? First of all, do you watch like MLS highlights?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I do.
So are there any keepers where you thought, oh, he's decent?
Oh, the sound of the keepers is good, to be fair, in MLS. It is good. I like Schulte at Columbus.
Okay.
Patrick Schulte is like a young American kind of international goalkeeper who's like good with the feet. He's got power. He's got like a good size. Seems like got a good temperament and stuff. So, and I know he's been successful. Like Columbus won the MLS Cup.
Yeah.
The year before last. So, I like Schulte. Boanga, like you mentioned earlier, as a I don't know if he's a midfielder or a striker, but he's a winger and he's just on a different level.
Yeah.
Crazy. Great player. Messi, obviously. Maybe I'll put Boanga as a midfielder and Messi as a striker. I don't know. But let's take Messi out of it. There's a guy at San Diego, Dreyer, who's been really good this season. Yeah. Dreyer. He came from Belgium.
Yeah.
Really good player. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of defender, difficult one. Defenders don't get the attention that they should, do they? It's difficult to look past someone like Jordi Alba, really. Just the amount of effect he has on a game. Obviously, it's obvious because you're trying to think of a defender in the MLS and he's one of the first ones that comes to mind. But
but he's...
it's just... it's the effect he has on a game from left back is just crazy.
Yeah, what I like about him is exactly what you said. Like, he literally will almost at times dictate in a game from left back. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his impact on a team, and it would be so easy for him to not maintain a certain level, but he manages to still, still keep going at it. I find Inter Miami really like funny though, because I'm not going to let you say it, but I'll say it. Messi, Busquets, Suarez, Jordi Alba, they just pass to each other. So it's like, I'm watching, I'm like, this is crazy. This is just, I'm seeing Suarez.
What I find crazy is like Alba will be on the left wing and he will be looking for Messi. He's passing to Messi.
Yeah.
But it seems like no one can ever stop it. Do you know what I mean? You think someone would just stand in the way.
Right.
But like they manage to find each other every time. It's crazy. But yeah, you're right. They do. They pass to each other, but can you blame them?
Yeah.
And it's worked.
And it's
worked for years.
And obviously they've played at such a high level in terms of Barcelona and everything that even now, like, they're still playing at a good level, but it's not the Barca level, obviously, but it's still so good.
Yeah.
It's still so good, man. And it just goes to show like the difference in levels. But yeah, no, that's it from me. Thank you so much for doing the pod. I hope I didn't let it drag on for too long.
No, all good.
Yeah. Oh no,
enjoyed it.
One more thing, actually. If you had to name a TV show that do you watch TV shows?
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to name,
but I always have mind blanks. Go on.
If you had to name a TV show that you think people should watch, the one that you enjoy, whether it's older or new, preferably newer-ish, which one would you pick?
I get asked this question. Like every TV show I've ever watched, and I watch so much. Every TV show I've ever watched just disappears from my mind. Like one that's obviously not a Game of Thrones or something that everyone's seen. Do you know what I mean? Something that. What have I watched recently? What have you watched recently? Jog my memory here. What's been coming out?
I watched some like low key shows so Apple TV have quite good shows. Apple TV.
Yeah.
So
what's the Friends and Neighbours one? Have you watched that one on Apple TV?
That's a good suggestion. I've seen that one. That's actually
good, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm watching right now a show called Slow Horses.
Yeah.
So I've literally just started that. And
the police guy, what's his name? The actor?
I don't even know.
Can't think of his name. He's in Batman.
But I definitely think that you should try Defending Jacob.
Oh, is that the trial one?
Yes.
Is that the kid that went to jail for like a while and shouldn't have done? Or
no,
what is that?
It's the a kid got murdered and they feel like one of his classmates did it, and his dad's a district attorney. So good.
Yes. Yeah. So, I need to watch that. You're right.
It's so good. That and Mobland. That's it for me.
Mobland. I've not seen that one.
Yeah, Mobland.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Meryl Streep.
Yeah. Some big names, super.
Yeah, proper Meryl Streep or Helen Mirren. I always get them mixed up. But anyway, yeah, we can go off on that. But yeah, one more. The Penguin. Watch that one.
The Penguin. Yeah.
Watch that one. But
I'll watch that.
Thank you so much for coming. For giving me your time. I've enjoyed this. Hope it's not felt like an interview to you.
No, not at all.
Hope it's been chilled. This weekend you're playing against who?
Well, we're in this cup competition now. So Friday we play Mazatlan, and then after that we play Pachuca. This is the thing. This is another thing. Like these clubs are huge, like in Mexico, and in England. When do we ever see highlights just like on Sky Sports News of like the Mexican league or the Argentinian league or the Brazilian league? You don't. It doesn't touch us, does it? We never see it ever. You can't live here. You live here. Honestly, you can't get away from it.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
Yeah,
and you realise like these fans are like they're fanatical and they all live even in like Houston. Like there's thousands of Tigres fans, thousands of Pachuca fans, and they'll travel in from like hours away to come watch the teams and stuff. So yeah, we're all very caught up in our bubble in England, like just Premier League, Champions League, whatever. But yeah, like the amount of talent and the amount of like big games and stadiums and tons of stuff in South America is crazy.
General, so when I played abroad as well. So my views on like football abroad is a bit different. You know, like you said.
What country did you play in?
So Sweden, Cyprus, Nigeria, and England.
Wow! So you've touched a lot of different cultures and leagues.
So, and I've seen football be like, I don't think the Premier League, it's the most exciting, but I don't think it's the best football. Like when I watch the Premier League, you know, when I look at football in like Spain, and you know, even like when I went Belgium for a bit, like the quality in terms of the technical quality is good. So anyway, I say that to say, when I think of Mexico, I don't just automatically just think no. So I've seen the All-Star game was against last year and this year was against the La Liga. Is it La Liga? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Liga MX.
Yeah, and I think what has brought a lot more attention as well was the Club World Cup. The Club World Cup and the Mexican teams there were just literally giving hell to the to the European teams.
Yeah, the Brazilian teams did really well, and I think even LAFC when they played Chelsea, like they did pretty well. They might have got a draw out of that game, but it was interesting to watch that. It was interesting to watch because like I saw a lot of things. Even in like when, for example, Real Madrid played against PSG, I saw a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see if they played each other in Europe. Yeah. But because they were playing on a different pitch in like boiling hot heat, like suddenly the game was a lot more stretched. Right. People stopped tracking each other. Do you know what I mean? Small things like that. The game looked a little bit closer, to like what sometimes it looks here. And I thought that's interesting. Yeah. Because there's no way a PSG can keep that intensity for like 90 minutes in that heat. It's just not possible. Yeah. So then it started to look a little bit more like your classic sort of Latin South American style game.
But it makes it more enjoyable. I quite enjoyed, especially the latter stages of the Club World Cup.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. So, but yeah, no, thank you so much, and all the best for the rest of the season. I should be out in Houston.
Thank you. Yeah, give me a shout.
I'll definitely come to a game. I've got family out, and there's a load of Nigerians. I don't know if you've noticed in Houston.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a load of loads of Nigerians. So, but yeah, thank you very much.
We have a Nigerian boy in our team. To be fair.
Oh, is it?
Toyosi. Yeah.
Such a Nigerian.
Toyosi just signed for us from St. Mirren.
Yeah. Oh, St. Mirren.
Lovely guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's from London, but he signed from St. Mirren. You know.
Yeah, when he gets settled, I'm pretty sure he'll find Nigerian spots, and then he can take you there. Once you have Nigerian food, mate, different.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. But guys, make sure you keep liking, subscribing, sharing. Let me know who else you want me to get on here, and it's good to be back interviewing players again. And we're out. 1 sec.